Welcome to KonKon's Cantina. Grab a drink, sit back, and relax.
Did you get a smell of that?
Oh yeah.
Does that smell good?
That's sweet, sweet nectar.
What is up, everybody? It is your boy, it's KonKon, back, and sadly, without Justin, but no fear, because Butler is here.
Oh yes. Well, you can just yell Travis like you usually do.
Travis!
It works.
It works, you know, we call Justin Travis, or his wife calls him that, but guys, we are here, episode 68. Now, you probably have heard Justin, unfortunately, was in a work accident. Justin, he fell, and he has very much permanently lost both arms in a duel with Obi-Wan Kenobi on his way down from the fall. Mm-hmm. That's actually what happened.
Oh, yeah.
Full electronics. His wife also died in the process, and then he got off the operating table and yelled no. It was super ironic. No, guys, in all seriousness, Justin did fall. You know, we put out some updates. A lot of people have reached out to us. We very much appreciate that. Justin went to the hospital today as of this recording, got one of his casts taken off. One of them was still on. Hopefully he'll be having the staples. He had to have surgery on both arms.
Yeah.
So he's definitely, it's rough. He's going to be out of commission for a little while, but he will get to a point where he'll be on the show virtually. So me and somebody else, and then hopefully he'll be at somewhere up here, or he'll be actually, I'm going to put him right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. And he's going to have to look to the left and the right, just look really awkward the whole time.
Next time he just needs to fall on his face. Don't put your arms out.
Yeah,
just fall on the face. Yeah, hit the moneymaker.
Yeah, just let the face take the front. Like, teeth might have been cheaper.
Yeah,
yeah. Like, we'll get some. Why can't I remember what they're called? When you
dentures.
Get your not dentures.
Veneers.
Veneers. Yeah. We'll get. Well, no, that's pretty expensive too.
Yeah. Porcelain teeth.
Yeah. Housekeeping, of course, guys. Merch. If you take a look at this shirt that I'm wearing, we have finally got our merch. We posted about it in Discord, and hopefully as this episode is releasing, which will be on Monday, they will all be on the big cartel. We have 3 shirts that are going to be available. Also, feel free to message me privately if you don't want to go through the website. A lot of people don't like going through websites, and that actually helps us if you don't go through the website, but it will be available through the website. Patreon members do receive a discount on the merch. We have this Luke Skywalker tee, and we also have a Rex tee, and then we just have a basic podcast tee. The basic podcast tee is really just for promoting and helping support us, and then these shirts are more of an effort into getting into like the streetwear Star Wars scene, basically. We got a lot of designs coming. Really going to start pushing it hard to come out with more shirts, so we hope that you guys like it.
They're beautiful next level too. Super soft.
Dude, I almost forgot it. I'm just happy that you said that. They are their next level tees. They're tri-blend. So they're super, super soft. I mean,
fancy.
Super comfortable, yeah. Me and Justin wanted nice shirts. Mm-hmm. I mean, not only design-wise, but comfortability-wise. Yeah. They breathe. They're cotton tri-blend. Once again, super, super comfortable. Feel free to message myself. And once again, the Linktree in all the social media will also have the link that says merch. Speaking of social media, of course, guys, you already know it's KonKon. That's just me. KonKon's Cantina at the following: YouTube, Facebook, the Facebook group, Instagram. If you would like to work with us and this podcast, feel free to reach out to us via Gmail, konkonscantina@gmail.com, Twitter, and of course, Discord. You can join the Discord by hitting the Discord link in the Linktree link that is posted in all of our social media. How you can support this podcast, as you already heard, we do have the Discord, and word of mouth, guys. If you're enjoying what you're hearing here, what you're seeing on YouTube, wherever you're finding us, send us to a friend, send us to somebody that likes Star Wars, send us to your local alcoholic. Okay. We're drinking, they're drinking. Let's drink together. Okay. Let's get this out of the way, guys. And if you can, of course, rate this podcast.
5 stars.
5 stars. The agenda of this episode, without further ado. Once again, grown men still collecting toys, part 2. So, and then we'll be talking about news. We do have some news to talk about. Now, in our first episode that we did talking about grown men collecting toys, it was me, Russell, and Justin. And that episode actually took off.
Okay.
I don't know if it just hit the algorithms right, whatever it was. This was before we were doing YouTube. And that was one of our most listened to episodes, and that was one of the most fun ones to record.
There's a lot of collectors like us,
Yes.
So like it really hits that spot.
Yeah, there's a ton. I mean, and we're gonna get into what we're collecting, and I feel like Funko Pop has taken over the scene. Obviously, we're going to talk heavily about lightsabers. I do wish Justin was here. You're going to talk about some of your comics that you brought, new lightsabers that you brought, high-end toys. We're going to talk about some high-end toys, and we're going to do an unboxing. While we're doing it, we're going to do an unboxing of a Boba Fett Sideshow. Super excited about that. But guys, you already know, we are a Cantina podcast. So we're going to go into the Cantina right now.
Welcome to KonKon's Cantina. What are you having? But remember, no droids.
Travis, I have been talking a lot and I've been talking fast. So I'm
right.
going to take a break.
You're so hyped right now.
I am pretty hyped, man. We took off last week and it sucked, but we needed a week to recuperate. Yeah. Tell the people what you're drinking. It looks the head on that. I don't think I've seen a head that dark.
Oh, well, this is fantastic. So this is Oscar Blues. It's their barrel-aged 1050. It's the stovepipe edition. So it's the big old, I think it's like a pint and a half. It's fantastic.
Yeah, let's people can see the comparison there. Yeah, it's pint and a half or at least.
And this is a barrel-aged selection. They hit at about 12.4% when they're fresh. This guy is going on 5 years old. They pulled this out of my beer cellar, which I have a buku amount of beers that I need to get rid of. Had to go with this one. I was really scared this guy's going to explode sometime soon. It's that old.
Yeah.
So brought it to the show, and honestly, I'm so excited to try this because I love 1050. That's what it is. And this barrel-aged, literally aged, is going to be phenomenal.
It is literally aged now. Yeah. I am drinking... You told me the name of this, and I'm going to say it wrong. Artisanal, thank you. I've seen a ton of their stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't do a lot of research beforehand. They have a lot of what I would call one-offs.
Yeah. They do a lot of adjunct beer, which is going to be those crazy flavors like when you're drinking a Cinnamon Toast Crunch flavor.
Yes.
And you showed me a few other ones that you had in your fantastic cooler.
Let me get
in your lightsaber room.
Let me get the beer cam going. Yeah, so right now I'm drinking Touch O Crunch. It's a red ale. It's 7.5%. I didn't see an ABV on there. It's super, super light, and the description was orange, caramel, and then, of course, cinnamon. I'm not getting the cinnamon at all, but I do like the high alcohol content for a red ale because it's super smooth, and it being that smooth and that high alcohol percentage, it's really sweet, which is a good thing.
Sometimes the adjuncts can settle in those cans, and so sometimes you roll them a little bit and it'll agitate it. So don't shake, but roll. Shake,
I should have done that.
Shake it, you got a big problem.
Roll
it, it'll kind of disperse the flavors a little bit, and then you can safely open it up.
And a lot of people talk about that too. They'll pour out a beer and they think that their beer's gone bad. Because there's stuff floating in it, but it's supposed to be in there.
Yeah, that's adjuncts. Yeah, so it's just like the additional stuff that's outside of the typical brewing process.
Let's get your beer on Beer Cam 2, which is also going to be referred as the toy cams. Guys, this episode we have individual cameras to show you the toys that we are going to be talking about. So 1050, where are they based out of? Do you know?
Yeah, this is actually, I believe, out of Oscar Blues is the brewery out of this, and they're out of Boulder, Colorado, I believe. Or just around Colorado, somewhere in Colorado. I think it's Boulder.
Not nice cold water there, easy for them to brew stuff.
They're actually the parent company of Cigar City now. So Oscar Blues bought Cigar City about 4 years ago, I think. And so it's...
What's that Cigar City beer that only comes out once a year? Hunapoo?
Hunapoo. That's an imperial stout.
Yeah. Well, how is that anything compared to that?
Yes, very similar.
Okay.
In body and the slightly different flavor. But it's just as kick in the butt. Yeah.
What is the percentage on that bad boy?
This one, when it was fresh, was 12.4%.
You think it's gone? You think it's gone down in the can?
No, it's gone up.
Gone up.
Oh, it's gone up because I've cellar kept this, and so once you put it in the refrigeration, it stops the fermentation and stops everything from progressing.
Okay.
I've had it in a cold, dark crypt.
Yes.
So it's gotten boozy.
It's gotten boozy.
Yeah.
So it's funny because before we started recording, I was talking to you about Tavor, and the thing about Tavor is it's a subscription service. Tavor sponsored this podcast. My gosh, I talk about you guys so much. I've put your kids through college. Okay. They put up descriptions. They put up a new beer every day. You get them, and you get a delivery every 2 months. So if you buy a beer every other day, you're talking 30 beers.
Yeah.
And to go through beers of these caliber more than 3 times a week, either A, you're going to gain a heck ton of weight, or you're not going to be able to function.
Yeah.
One of the two. So I kept so many of those beers, and occasionally, especially in our previous episodes, it would always be the top conversation. Oh, I'm drinking a Tavor beer, you know. And it's funny you say that because some of those I left so long. I wonder if they would have tasted different.
Yeah,
when I got them,
some beers are best tasted fresh. Funky Buddha out of down in Miami area, they always preach about drink me fresh.
I have an opinion about that.
Okay,
what do you think about Funky Buddha?
I mean, they're another huge adjunct beer brewery, but I mean I feel like they're pretty solid as far as like consistency. They've been the same. I mean, I was a huge fan of Last Snow when it was a very rare release, and now they've done it in 12-ounce bottles now. When I was getting it, it was a very hard to get 22-ounce bomber, and I'm a fan of them. They're big flavor beers. Sometimes I just want I don't drink a lot of big imperial stouts, which this would be anything over 8%. Is technically an imperial stout. So I don't really drink so much of these anymore. I went from like IPA, the hoppiest IPA, to the craziest imperial stouts to sours. Now I've scaled it all the way back down to just give me a really good crisp lager or pale ale.
Yes.
Or just
I've been on a Red Stripe kick.
Yeah.
Like it's funny you say that because same thing. I was never a beer person. I was always a mixed drink person. And then I got into, Heineken's and Bud Platinum.
Yeah.
And I just started going up and up and up. I'm still super into sours. Sours are really hit and miss for me. I feel like just some people can either do it or they can't.
100%.
And now I'm right back to more common beers. But for Funky Buddha, I would love to go down there and...
It's a fantastic brewery.
Yeah, I really want to go down there.
And they have an amazing food menu as well.
Yeah.
So while you're down there, you can get a heck of a meal out of there.
Speaking of, currently wearing a Innovations hat, Innovation Brewery out of North Carolina. Okay. And it's funny that you brought up Funky Buddha because Funky Buddha does really good peanut butter to me, like peanut butter flavored beers.
Oh, yeah.
And Innovation single-handedly has the best peanut butter beer that I've had.
Okay.
Justin was just up there in North Carolina. He posted a picture of it, and I got to try it at his house this past week. Hopefully we get to have a vacation where we all go up there and we get to talk with them. But that's what I was going to talk about specifically to Funky Buddha in correlation to the hat that I'm wearing is both of them do peanut butter flavors that are and peanut butter is like one of my favorite flavors.
Yeah, they do a really good. I like their no crust, which is the PB&J.
Yes,
they do fantastic.
They have Funky Buddha has a lot of dessert beers.
100%.
Yeah, stuff that I'm drinking. I want it really, really cold in a glass. Open up the flavors, and then I'm drinking it after I eat something heavy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This Touch-O Crunch. I'm gonna go back to the beer cam, soon to be the toy cam. It's good. It doesn't taste like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And everybody's different. Somebody might get these cinnamon notes more than me.
Yeah.
But I think of like Larceny whiskey, they immediate cinnamon. Like on the back end, everything about this on the front, the mid, and the back, I don't get cinnamon, so I don't get Cinnamon Toast Crunch. But this is a really good red ale. I love red ales. The alcohol percentage definitely helps. This is a solid 7 out of 10 Mandos for me.
Nice. I'm giving this a 10 out of 10 for me.
10 out of 10?
On my 1050. You got to give 10 out of 10 with a 1050. I mean,
1050.
It sold itself.
1050 gets a 10. I need like a button, like a... like when we get like a 10 out of 10. Something like that. Man, all right. So we're having a great time already. Introduction to collecting toys. Grown men still collecting toys, part 2. A brief overview is, let's just talk about briefly some of the things that me and you still collect. Some of the things that I primarily collect are high-end lightsabers.
Yeah.
I don't have a ton. I have about 4 high-end lightsabers, and then I have some other Black Series lightsabers. Black Series I have since stopped collecting, and my newest collection is I have started purchasing Funko Pops, which is...
It's a slippery slope.
It's a very slippery slope, because it's almost like anything can be a Funko Pop. Mm-hmm. And everything that you don't want to be a Funko Pop is a Funko Pop. Then it's things that you could hate, and you're like, okay, I need that as a Funko Pop.
I saw a Ron Jeremy Funko Pop. I was like, why they do that?
Yeah, they do it. I don't know. And it's like, how long? I don't even know how long Funko Pop has been around, but I feel like it's been around a while. And now this last 2 years, it's really become a thing.
I think the owner, it's a single guy who owns it. And I think he's almost a billionaire, if not.
Has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to be worth
Crazy
immense
amount of
amounts of money.
money. Oh, yeah.
How do they get the licensings?
I don't know. I think it might be kind of satire kind of scenario. So
They don't have mouths.
They can
Artist
I don't know.
rendition.
But they are also usually officially licensed by most of the people. So like I don't know. I guess it'd be S Creek. It's pronounced Schitt's Creek. But that sitcom, like everything's officially licensed. Like this is officially licensed by Dumb and Dumber. It's got the branding.
I don't know if I've noticed this before. We have a Funko Pops movie logo. I'm gonna put this on my toy cam. So these are the newest ones that I've gotten. I recently got the Dumb and Dumber collection of Funko Pops. So just kind of like what you were saying right here, we have the movie logo. So Pop Movies, and I'm sure that goes for TV show, video game. I'm sure they changed that. But once again, like to get the likeness, once again, it's to the T. They just don't have a mouth.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's odd to me. But there's
just
so
that
many
signature
Star Wars
style.
ones.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh,
many.
there's so many Star Wars ones. It's not even funny. There's a lot of Star Wars ones that I want. Do you have any Funkos?
I do actually. I have a couple Ghostbuster ones. I have. Funny enough, I have some Parks and Rec ones. As
You were
mentioned before
telling
the
me,
show.
yeah,
I
yeah.
got some fun Ron Swanson ones. I have him when he's drunk in his Komodo with his cornrows, which is a great one. Gosh, off the top of my head, I can't think. I don't have a ton of Funko Pops because I collect so many other things. But
Yeah.
I do have a handful of ones that when you see, you just gotta grab because it's just
There's
just too good.
There's some, we have shout outs to Was It Good podcast. We have the Quill up there from The Mandalorian, and then that is the largest Funko Pop that I have. Got that on Amazon for $36.
That's a steal because that one's sweet.
And I think there's no way. Is every Funko Pop a limited run? Do you know? It kind of seems like it is.
I think they do. I think they're limited runs.
Yeah. So because I know there's Boba Fett Funkos that are $75+.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's a 700% return if you bought that for $10, and then you're selling it for that much more. It's crazy. Enough about me. What have you been collecting over these past years? What got you into collecting? Like, what was your first thing, and where are you at now?
Man, I guess I've always been a collector ever since I was little. Starting back with Ninja Turtles. I got the Ninja Turtles.
Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Well, my first one that I ever got was for Easter when I was really young. It was Raphael. So I've always loved Raphael. He's always just
Presents on Easter, huh?
Yeah, and we're British. I don't know. It was weird.
Oh, okay.
So
I was gonna say, yeah.
In the Easter basket, there'd be like one like a gift, and then
okay,
candy and
all
stuff.
right.
Because we were young back then, so. I have a soft spot for Raphael. He's always just been the BA with an attitude, just not taking any S from anybody. So it was great. I really like that. And then when I started collecting those, I just wanted it all. So I used to have the sewer set. I had all of Shredder's gear. I had everything. I don't even remember the names for half the stuff I used to have. But
now, were these toys these are toys that you played with?
These are toys that I played with. Hardcore all the time. We would make like lines. We'd take the laundry line and slide Donatello on his bow staff down the line. And stuff like that. Doing all kinds of silly stuff, destroying my toys. Now they're worth like outrageous amount of money.
Course,
and I was like, God, I wish I would have kept some of these. Anything.
Yeah.
But as I've mentioned last time, I have a pretty extensive Star Wars Kenner collection. I do collect. I collect posters, so I do Mondo posters as well as Bottleneck. So I like limited run posters.
What's a Bottleneck poster?
Bottleneck, it's another gallery, kind of like Mondo prints. Are you familiar with Mondo tees?
I'm not.
Okay, Mondo tees are they're limited run pop culture posters that you can go to mondotees.com, not to plug in, but they do limited run pop
Mondo,
culture
if you
posters.
would like to sponsor this.
Yeah, no kidding. That'd be amazing. They do some really cool stuff. But I love collecting them. They're kind of like screen print posters, and so they look very high end. I love to frame them and look them double matte frames and put them on the wall. And
where do you get your framing done?
You stack Joanne and Michael's. You got to stack the coupons.
I was gonna say, who's cheaper?
Well, it depends on the coupon.
Yeah,
yeah. But I tend to think that Joanne's a little cheaper.
Remind me to show you some pictures after we're done recording, because there's some stuff I want to get matted. Because now that I'm thinking about it, that's another thing that I collect. But sorry, continue. So the toys,
posters.
The posters.
I do. I've recently gotten into lightsabers, as you.
You have.
Yeah,
you have.
Started diving into that a little too hard. Yeah. I think 3 posters, 3 lightsabers in a month so far.
Welcome to the team.
Yeah. So I have 1 Black Series. I have 1 Galaxy's Edge.
You have a nice Black Series, and actually, is it considered? It's a it's different than a Black Series. Your Kylo one?
Yeah, it's a Target exclusive, so it's only released to Targets.
Okay.
And it's the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren Black Series.
That's what it is. Okay.
So it's different than the typical Kylo Ren. It has it's LEDs throughout the blade and both the side exhausts.
Yep.
There's a little bit more graphic detail to the hilt itself, and it also has I think
it sounds way better too.
it has a drag. It has different blaster effect on it. It's neat. Yeah, it's definitely not as functional and as extensive as say a NeoPixel. So it's not the crazy colors you can come with it like my Imperial Knight that I have to my left right here. That has just like yours has so many crazy functions to it. Whether it be the flame, it has multicolors.
Yeah,
it's fantastic, and I really. Not to dive. I know we're going to dive
yeah,
into that later.
Yeah,
so
we're going to get into the lightsaber talk for sure.
You get me all hyped now. Yeah.
I know. So we were talking about all the things that we collected. So what newest to your collection is the lightsabers?
Yeah, the lightsabers and my Grogu as well.
Your Grogu. And we're going to get into Hot Toys. We got some Hot Toys action. We're going to get that in the memorabilia section. Right now, guys, I'm gonna show you some more of the Funko Pops and some of the newest Black Series stuff that I have, and then let's talk about your comics.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're gonna go into lightsaber talk.
Fantastic.
So I'm gonna shoot us over to KonKon Toy Cam. So right here we have my newest Black Series figure. Now, Black Series has been catching a lot of heat lately. The reason for that is lack of quality. The quality inspection has been really bad. People are getting prints that don't line up. They've been looking really, really horrible.
Cosmetic issues. And whatnot, yeah.
And it's a weird conversation to have because it is only a $20 toy, and it is a toy. They're collectibles in the sense because I think that we make them collectibles, not because they were meant to be collectibles. When you start getting into collectibles like Funko Pops, Sideshow figures, Hot Toys, there's way less errors.
Yeah.
But when you're getting into this, so this is a GameStop exclusive. This is Jedi Knight Revan. Revan himself has recently become canon in the newest Star Wars film, Rise of Skywalker. But this version of Revan is in no way, shape, or form canon. The extent of his storyline has not been explored in the canon timeline of Star Wars. But this was a really hot figure. It was a pre-order only. I did get 3 of them. I did get a couple more of them. I'll admit to use them as leverage. I'll say.
No, yeah.
It wasn't an intention of scalping them. It was for trading toys of higher value.
Yeah. Because
this was a pre-order only, so I was able to secure 3 of them. I actually really like this figure. This is actually because I have 3 of them. I have a prototype Boba Fett inside my PC, and I'll post a picture of that somewhere on our social media. But New Year, I'm gonna start doing like a theme. Like every 6 months, I'm gonna do a new toy. So I'm gonna put like a new Star Wars figure in my PC and change all my LEDs inside my PC to kind of match. So I'm definitely gonna do some whites and purples to match him. He's pretty cool. I mean, if you look at him, I mean, he's pretty detailed. I mean, even with what I said about the series, wow, can't talk. The figures themselves, I think that this one is very on the low end of messing up. Like, there's not a face that you have to get just right. You don't have to get the likeness because it's a helmet. I think that this is actually one of the better figures. Once again, GameStop exclusive. It's not numbered. All the exclusive figures you'll notice for the Black Series, they don't have a number on the side. So if it's exclusive to somewhere, it won't be numbered. Everywhere else has a number as part of a series.
Yeah. But these are great because I know the Black Series, they do have like first release, second release. They'll re-release them later on. Because I've heard that they're going to re-release some of the ones that they've discontinued later on because it's obviously it's a cash crop. I mean, these things just print money.
Let's talk about real quick. As you said, you have gotten into kind of like the Star Wars community, the collecting side with the lightsabers.
Oh yeah.
Even in Black Series, the Black Series communities, Star Wars fans, I don't know who hurt you. It wasn't me. I'm just trying to buy something. Even the Black Series groups are some of the most toxic people you will ever interact with online. I don't understand.
It can be very cutthroat, man.
I mean, like, even as a newcomer, like, people are just asking questions. They're trying to get into the hobby. They want to share your space. Like, be welcoming, invite them in, like, teach them what you know. Like, hey, this figure is worth this much because of this, that, and the third. Don't call them
noob
and your mom didn't love you. Like, my goodness, the dude's just asking a question. But anyway, I think that's with anything. It's not just
It can get toxic on any level on so many collectibles. I mean, it's insane. I was building a proton pack this past October just for a Halloween costume, and I dove into some of the Ghostbusters stuff. And man,
dude, your proton pack is legit too.
If you,
I saw it on your Instagram.
Thank you. If I didn't have an actual casting, so I just kind of bought like the Spirit Halloween store, outside, and then I gutted that, and I bought a bunch of guts to it, and I put LEDs in there and a soundboard and everything like that. And man, people were ripping me apart because I just used some Spirit prop to it, and it wasn't an official cast or something like that. Like it's only a 3/4 size. It's not the right size. It doesn't count. I'm like, listen, I'm a skinny dude. It looks great on me. You know, I understand some big dudes, it might look a little small on them, but it fit me perfectly. I love it. I think it looks fantastic.
And I think there's a difference too. Like, you wore this to like a Halloween party.
I walked around downtown Sanford for Halloween. I won 2 Halloween costume contests with it.
And I think there's a different precipice for that kind of scenario as opposed to going to a con. It's the same amount of fun.
Oh yeah,
but once again, the point was, it's just weird to see toxicity in like every sort of collecting or even like nerdism. What's the word I'm looking for? Fandom, I guess. Fandom as a whole is very elitist, and I don't really know why. I mean, the more people that I think can be involved, the better.
Yeah.
You know, more resources, all that kind of stuff. Back to my toy cam, I'm going to show you some of the Dumb and Dumber. Once again, these are just a couple of them. I did recently. I got the whole set. So we got Lloyd, as you saw earlier, and then this is Lloyd on his little bike. And then let me switch out Lloyd for Harry. Once again, man, these put me on a slippery slope. I want all of them. I got the whole Dumb and Dumber set, and now I want all the Star Wars figures. It's just it's bad. But that's pretty much all that's new for me. Let's talk about your comics.
Yeah. So I brought a couple of my comics, some of my key ones that I have. I have a bunch. I have honestly too many. I invested this past year in some nice cases to actually store them in, because before they were just in cardboard, and if you're not careful,
and they're graded.
Yeah, some of them are graded. I have a lot of graded CGC comics, and then a lot of them I've just kind of wrapped in your typical cellophane with backed.
CGC, is that the grader or is that the...
That's the grader. There's 2 different graders. Forgive me, I don't know the other one off the top of my head. But yeah, I've typically gone with CGC for the grading process.
I'm going to flip to the Butler toy cam. Show these people these comics.
Yeah, absolutely. So... This one's one of my favorites. This is going to be Spider-Man number 300. This is the first appearance of Venom.
Dude, that's sick.
This one's one of my... It's a low grade. It's only 6.5, but it's one of those... It's just a collector's item. It's almost like, you know, if you were to get...
It's still going to be worth a good amount. 6.5.
Yeah, it's
especially in what year is this comic?
Oh, man, I think it has it on here 88.
Come on.
Yeah.
This was red, obviously, for the score.
Yeah.
And it's still good. It's still good.
The flaws in it are just very subtle. It has to do with the color. It's not as vibrant as it used to be. There's probably a little bit of sunning to it.
Yep.
There's no creases in the spine. It's never been, I mean, as far as I know, it's never been red. But yeah, front and back, there's nothing, no noticeable cosmetic problems with it. This one, going with another Spider-Man, this one is my Ultimate Fallout number 4. This one's the first appearance of Miles Morales, who's the newest in the Spider-Man suit. This one is crazy because I spent, I think, like $2.99 on this comic, and if you actually get it CGC graded, this thing goes for almost like $400 or $500 now.
And no doubtably that is because Spider-Verse just
exactly blew up. Absolutely. Right after Spider-Verse, it skyrocketed in price, and the how rare it was. And I was lucky enough, just like you, I picked up several copies of this because I was in the store, and the guy was like, hey, this came out, there's still a handful of them left.
Yeah.
Grab a few. This one will skyrocket. And that's what I did. And so I have about 4 copies of this that I'm just holding on to. And I didn't get the CGC rated, but this one's in a nice little magnetic clip back case just to keep it nice and pristine. I will mail these guys off to get them. I
like that case. That's cool. I see the magnets.
Yeah, it makes it nice so you can actually hang them if you really wanted to. But that, and then
PSA, is that who you're thinking of?
Yes.
Yeah, PSA is in Arizona, and then CGC. I see CGC also, and then BGS is the other big one. Those are the 3 big ones.
Yeah.
And then I know that when it comes to Pokemon cards, Pokemon is a big part of my background, and I collected when I was little.
Yeah.
And Pokemon has just made an absolutely ginormous resurgence recently. I mean, it's absolutely crazy what some of these cards are going for.
Crazy amount.
And I know that you can pay for like rush grading, which you're going to pay more. I don't know like what a lot of things start at. I want to say they start at like $50 a card, and it depends on how many things you want to get graded. I think you get.
It's typically
deals.
$50 to get like this Spider-Man. I paid for this one and my Walking Dead to both get graded. And yeah, they were $50 to get graded.
Now, do they give you that case?
That's included with the case.
So how did you send it in a case?
I gave these at MegaCon, actually in Orlando. There's a large CGC booth, and it's kind of like handing over your child. You're like,
yeah.
Please take care of this.
Yeah. So they'll grade it that weekend.
No, they take it, and then I got it like 6 weeks later.
Oh, 6 weeks. That's not a bad turnaround, to be honest.
So it's a while. It takes I think it was a little over a month. I think it took me to get my comics back, and it was nail biter ever since. Especially with this next one I have.
Yeah, let's switch back to the Butler cam.
This one is one of the comics' fastest grossing comics. I mean, it's The Walking Dead. This is #1, first print. This goes for, I don't know, it can range anywhere between $900 to $1,500.
Yeah, wow.
I paid face value $295 for it.
So what is your overall plan with these comics? Is this things that you want to
You've
give
been
to your
consulting
kids?
with my wife, haven't you?
She's like,
So
listen,
they're like, what are you doing with these? I'm like, I'm holding on to them.
listen, when Travis gets there, you find out how much they're worth, because we need things.
We've had a serious conversation. She was like, well, what if you die? What am I supposed to do with these? I'm like, you hold on to them.
Yeah, exactly. Do not let them go.
Do not let them go.
When the guy comes in from the insurance company telling you that he's looking for things, kick him out.
And he'll buy the lot for $50.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do it.
God, can you imagine? No, but like, are these things? Because I only have 2 items in my collection that I want to hold on to, and I need to go get them. I don't know why I don't have them on the table with me. I need to go get them. But 3 items. There's only 3 items in my collection that I never want to do anything with. I want to keep them forever and give them to my kids if I have them, or a nephew, whatever the case may be, nephew, niece, anybody. Doesn't even have to be kin, but just I want to give them to somebody because that's how they were given to me.
Okay. No, these, I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I mean, like I'm kind of like a collecting hoarder, if you will. Like, I don't know. I don't want to get rid of them right now, but I mean, at the same time, if someone were to offer me an exorbitant amount of money for them, I would not say no.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm obviously, I would like to, if I could sell one of these comic books and take my wife on a crazy European vacation at the drop of a hat, I would.
Oh, really? Wow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, I would
shout outs to your wife then.
Yeah, I know, right? That's when she hears this and she's like, "What?
What?" Yeah, she's like, "When are we going to Paris?"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, but I would sell some of the stuff. I have, like I said, I do have a lot of comics. I wrote down in some of my notes. Like, I mean,
bring it up.
I used to go on a lot of eBay sites and just follow different random people. Like, I picked up an entire lot of Captain Britain, and they were.
Is that the alternate timeline of Captain America?
Kind of, yeah, exactly. And
it's like the Marvel What If type stuff.
No, this was old newspaper print, British comic books. They're super wide magazine print. They're almost on newspaper style material.
Yeah.
And I have a handful of those, and I managed to get in a lot of that. I got a lot of 50 of them for $15. And the number 8 in that issue is the first appearance of Betsy Braddock, which is Psylocke. Famous X-Men character.
Yeah.
And that thing's worth $400 alone.
Yeah.
And so, like, I mean, it paid off tenfold, like my collection right there. Like, I was like, well, I'm going to start doing this more often. That was one of my first, like, kind of gems I found in a collection that I randomly bought a lot of. And so I have some of those. I've recently gotten into, I wish I owned more of them because I've fallen in love with the I know some people are like, no, you got to go Dark Horse, Star Wars, but like I really enjoy the new Marvel ones.
And a lot of who were Dark Horse have come over.
Yeah.
With that. And it's funny because one of the big things I collect is legend books. As of recently, thanks to Jay Breezy himself, I was able to get unread near mint. I'm talking Shadows of the Empire, just all the old Star Wars books.
Yeah.
Where all the I had already started collecting. There's 3 left. There's 14 books in total. The story of the Solo twins.
Okay.
The oldest in Legends is Anakin Solo is their oldest, and then they have 2 twins, Jason and Jaina. And I have almost all of their books, their adventures. It's the Young Jedi Knight collection. And then I have all 3 of the Han Solo book series. I have the Shadows of the Empire. I have I have all the Tales books, Tales of Tatooine, Tales of just all of those. And then the 3 things that like I don't want to get rid of. Natasha's uncle gave me kind of like a cereal box style toy. It's a magazine from 77, a magazine from 80, and a magazine from 83. And it's a Star Wars magazine for each year that the movie came out. And inside is a poster.
That's cool.
So the main ploy of the magazine is it's only like a 10-page magazine article about the movie, but then you get the big poster, right, for your room.
Yeah.
Never been opened. So all 3 of them for all 3 years, they're in cellophane, and I have them in picture frames. They're on my wall in there. I'll have to show them to you later.
Yeah, definitely, please.
And that's something, I don't know if there's value there, but there's value to me.
I'm sure there's some sort of monetary value to that, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's something I would love to get them graded.
yeah.
The other thing that I've done actually is every magazine since the sequels came out, Rolling Stones, Time, GameStop, any magazine that's come out since the sequels that has Star Wars on it, I have it. I have every single one of them. I have some of them in picture frames where they've stayed
pressed.
None of them have been read. I've bought them off the shelf. Publix is where I've gotten a lot of them.
Yeah.
And especially like Time and Rolling Stones, I think that those will be something someday.
Yeah.
So like I have the Rogue One, and I have Force Awakens, both Rolling Stone versions when those came out. But those are stuff that I don't want to get rid of, that I'd like to give to somebody.
Yeah, just hold on to them.
Yeah, hold on to it forever.
Anything. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish that I would have gotten back onto the Pokemon stuff earlier. Like, it's kind of like what you said with you were finding things on eBay and stuff that weren't worth things.
They just didn't know that they had any value to them. There was like, almost like my wife someone's wife was forcing them to sell it. I'm like, you got to get rid of these dagnabbit comics.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
sitting in the basement.
Yeah.
And they just sold them the whole lot. And like, yeah, there was a gem in there, and they just didn't know that the number 8 had an extreme amount of value to it because it was the first appearance of what then was a random character.
It's crazy. There is a clip from Pawn Stars, and I'm blanking on his name. He's the world's largest collector of Charizard cards. He has the most Charizards in the world, and he also has the most PSA first generation Shadowless Charizards in the world. A PSA 10 Shadowless Charizard goes for $350,000, something like that. And there's a clip on Pawn Stars where this guy came in and tried to sell his entire collection of Charizard cards to Pawn Stars. And they were like, they weren't interested. That was only like 10 years ago. And if they would have bought that, what those cards are worth now, it's immense. But
oh yeah, that's craziness.
Lightsabers.
Let's do it now.
We're finally getting into the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
let's go right off. This is your newest, most high-end saber.
Yes, this is.
And you got this from the lightsaber collecting group on Facebook?
Yes.
And this was just somebody posting something for sale.
Just something posting. Yeah, exactly. It was a quick, almost impulse buy for me. Like I literally, I think the next day after I left the last time I was on the show, we were playing around. You let me hold the lightsaber, and you're like, "Listen, if you hold this, you're gonna become addicted." And I was like, nah. Held it, and I was like, "Oh my god,
oh my world has changed forever."
Yeah, it says the power. I feel the power.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was fantastic. So I found this, and I was immediately like, a few things stuck in my head. I wanted to have multiple fonts.
Yes.
I wanted to have NeoPixel.
Yep.
I wanted to have smooth swing.
Yes.
And
those are the main check marks.
Yeah, this thing checked them all off. I wasn't familiar with the hilt until you actually you broke it out, the burrito, if you will.
Yes, the burrito, the taquito,
yeah,
the chalupa supreme. It's a lightsaber thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wasn't too familiar with some of the canon with this, so this is an Imperial Knight. I think it was a Kishi Imperial Knight. I think. Yes. I don't know.
It's a super cool legend story where the Empire was basically before Inquisitors. Mm-hmm. So in new canon we have Inquisitors, and before the Inquisitors we had the Imperial Knights, which
donned
were
in red armor. They're really cool.
Sick armor.
Yeah, I've seen a few. I've been doing a lot of research trying to find possibly some red armor, and I'm like,
I told you. Look and see, and now see we. I haven't even done a cosplay episode yet,
Yeah.
and that's coming. We're gonna do a 3D printing episode. That's all coming. To see you buy this, and it leads into everything.
Well, that's the problem
Step
with me.
into my web.
I'm going to the Ninja Turtle thing now. Now I'm like, I got this. Now I have to complete this. In completing this, I need the outfit. And that's the problem. I also have all these.
And you're gonna buy a mannequin, and then you're gonna display all your armor on the mannequin.
Goals.
That's why I've been looking for a mannequin for a while. You showed me the board before we started recording. I thought that I would know the board by looking at it. Unfortunately, I don't. If Russell saw the board from Vader Sabers, he would probably know.
Yeah.
It has it has Vader font, it has Rey font, which the one that goes Young Rey, that's the Last Jedi Rey font, and that font I think is actually one of my favorite lightsaber hums. The actions that Rey does in The Last Jedi when she's training with that Graflex saber, the famous Skywalker saber.
Yeah.
That sound is it's so cool.
It's a beautiful hum, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. And so how much did you get this for?
I got this for $300 shipped.
Stolen.
Yeah.
With the blade.
With the NeoPixel blade.
Did he tell you who the blade comes from?
No. Well, I could probably dig through the transaction history because there was a lot of messaging back and forth. He sent me videos because I didn't know there's like, if I double tap the top button, it silences it and stuff like that. And I accidentally did that. And I messaged you and I was like, this dagnabbit thing's broken. I was I was all mad. I was like, I got ripped off. And then he's like, no, you dodo. You got to tap it twice, and then it turns the sound on and off. I was like,
you do that to save battery, because you're working that 18650 in there. I mean, it's a lot going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I got to steal. Like, I love it. This thing's fantastic.
Let's get that thing on the toy cam.
Yeah,
so that the people can see it.
So we have, there we go. Just put this right on top, and so it might roll around a bit because it actually doesn't have like a flat spot. Here. There we go. Yeah.
Get the lightsaber stand over there. I like this saber. It's Qui-Gon Jinn-esque, right?
Yeah, very
Qui-Gon Jinn-esque. I like the simplicity. Simplicity is always nice, and it comes with a Q clip, which is really, really nice. Shout out to Kill Key Factory. He makes those types of clips actually. Like this one, this is just D-ring. So there's different styles. I actually like that style better than this one, because it'll sit on your belt nicer. When it does this, they swing around a lot.
Yeah.
And especially with where you usually keep them on your hip, it starts doing this on your leg.
Yeah.
And it's really annoying. And that keeps that from happening. It's a lot. Cortex wheel is what it's called.
It'll just swing to and fro and not side to side kind of scenario, right?
Yeah. It holds it way more stationary.
Okay.
Because it's like more of the saber being held against you instead of it hanging.
Okay.
Fire it up. Can you fire it up? Let's get some sounds going. So it's nice and loud.
Yeah.
Ooh, yes, good.
Yeah, so it's got that nice glow with that. I love the white LED kind of fallback. Like
Indeed, you are powerful.
See, that's the double tap. Turn it off.
That
was my problem when I did that.
See, that makes me think it's Profi. It's just and there's probably different versions of Profi. It might be a V1 or it could be just an older Profi. Oh, see, I like the shimmer.
Yeah. It's got a lot of really cool, and you can kind of flick through the different. And it's got the
nice little blaster deflex.
You can hold it, and it's a
flash on clash.
Yep, and then so just draw this one back. And then I'm still trying to figure out like what some of these are. So and then this one I believe is my fire font.
Oh yeah.
And then there's another fire font that's slightly different than this one. So.
Yeah, I haven't seen one like that. That's cool. That looks like the fire font.
Yeah, I love this though. Like I love everything about this. This thing's fantastic.
Dude, just wait till you go to Galaxy's Edge because actually this is a great segue. That's my favorite one. It's so cool, and that's one thing that like NeoPixel is doing that other sabers aren't. It's hard to see on camera. Actually, let me go to camera 1 and then they'll see. So we have the base starting at a purple and we're going up to a blue, which is really, really different. You're not getting that with anything other than a NeoPixel.
Exactly. Yeah. The light in this thing is fantastic.
And the brightness, especially with NeoPixel on camera, the nice thing with on camera, you can get away with with Black Series figures and Legacy Legacy Sabers looking good on camera, but NeoPixel it legit looks real. Like on this camera, it looks like you have a lightsaber, like you are Jedi Knight Butler.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I sit there and just play with this all day. I literally turn this on every day. I go into a dark room, I swing it around until I knock something over, and I'm like, all right, that's enough.
That's enough. My training for the day is complete.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to talk now about my newest saber. So this is my second newest saber. This is not my newest saber. This is the Electrum Evo Flex. Now, I bought this saber actually.
I love the stand.
Thank you. This is just like a OG before they were Black Series. Mm-hmm. This is what they came with.
Okay.
When they were just Lucasfilm, whatever. Okay. Like you'd see them in Barnes and Nobles and stuff. These OG stands, and this is actually the V2. The old stands. The reason why there's two plates here is because you could put the saber blade. So this is a newer one, but this is the Spectrum Evo Flex. I actually bought this for my wife. I got it on a Black Friday deal. NeoPixel, they have like the charge technology. So what it is there's actually no tangible buttons. It's all touchscreen. So this actually is operated by the touch of your finger, which is good and bad. Because when you're doing like senseless spins, sometimes you will hit it, you'll deactivate it, you'll change the font, whatever the case may be. My experience with Electrum was not super amazing. Unfortunately, when the saber was sent to me, it was defective. They did end up making it right. It took longer than I would have liked. Definitely not here to trash them. Once again, they did make it right. That's what's important.
Yeah.
They
that speaks a lot for the customer service.
Yeah. And the fashion in which it was done was good. It just wasn't timely. Time is very important, but once again, they did make it right, which was cool. Got my saber fixed, sent it back to them. The main reason I bought this saber is I'm such a Graflex fan, and having these tiny little bunny ears, that's where we're getting into the Graflex style, right? The Anakin, the classic Skywalker saber. It's just so cool. I mean, it's exactly what I wanted. And I actually bought this for my wife, and she's just never been into it. So it's just my saber now. It's mine.
Well done, sir.
Yeah. The drawbacks for Electrum, their NeoPixel blades are amazing. Very affordable. I think it's the best NeoPixel blade for the money, in my opinion. But some of the drawbacks to their sabers is they have their own like patented technology. So this isn't a board that you can program yourself. This is a board that you can only do their fonts. Okay. You have to buy their fonts. Some people will buy these and then rip all the guts out and then reinstall them. Okay. Which is something that I'm interested in doing because the hilt is just, I can't get over the hilt.
Can you do that kind of stuff with a Galaxy's Edge hilt?
Some people yes, some people have made.
So I have a Graflex. I'm butchering that. I'm sorry.
No, Graflex.
So new to this.
Yeah.
I have the Anakin, and I would love to possibly like turn that into something better than what it is, because it's either that or just go ahead and buy a proper Profi NeoPixel. But I mean, it's like I have this already. If I could gut this and turn it into something special, I would totally do that.
That's where I think, one, people do that.
Yeah.
Two, I don't think it's cost effective.
Okay.
Because when you go to Disney and you're buying Legacy Sabers, the
weight is fantastic in this thing, though.
I do like how heavy they are. This is super light. Feel how light this is.
Oh yeah.
It's like nothing. Obviously, there's no blade.
Well, it's made for a lady, you know. So,
yeah, it is a smaller saber.
Oh, it's beautiful. I like the actual. It feels nice in the hand.
Yeah, it's really very thin, very thin. Which, talking about the Legacy Sabers, the Legacy Sabers are very, very thick.
Oh yeah,
super thick. I mean, they have some weight behind them, but the people do make conversion kits. I don't think that it's worth it.
Okay.
I haven't looked at it in some time. I mean, we're talking pre-COVID. I was looking into that. That's when I was still going to Galaxy's Edge, on a weekly basis. Actually just found out that Florida residents can get their passes back. So if you want to know how, DM me, because I'm not going to put that information out because it's like a secret. Seriously. Yeah. But I found out how I can get my pass back, which I'm super excited about because I've been missing Galaxy's Edge like hardcore. And where was I going with this? Oh, yeah, the conversions. you can just get those sabers from people. Let me just run down a small list real quick. Korbanth.
Yeah.
They're renowned installer. The Patch Store. The Patch Store is...
That's what this is.
Patch Store?
Yes.
So the Patch Store is China. They're from Hong Kong. Nothing wrong with that. All of these sabers come from factories in Taiwan or China.
Yeah,
pretty much.
That's what I figured out, yeah.
Yeah. We have made purchases from Alibaba before. It's just going to take a long time to get it.
Yeah.
As far as established installers in the US, so if you wanted to get into this hobby for yourself, my suggestion would be to join all the Facebook groups. If you want to ask questions, try looking those up on Reddit. Because kind of like how we talked about earlier, you're just going to get roasted.
Yeah.
And it's going to turn you off. Like, yeah, it's almost like not even worth it. Try to look up introductory information on Reddit. Google your questions. What is the difference between RGB, NeoPixel? What are the differences? What are the pros? What are the cons? And you really need to have an understanding of what you're coming into this hobby price point wise. So once again, you got a steal on that saber. To put this in perspective, my last saber that I had installed was installed by Vader Sabers, which is local to here in Apopka. I paid $230 for the hilt empty from Korbanth.
Yeah.
And then parts, installation, and labor was $500. So we're talking a $750 saber, give or take. And that's without a blade.
Yeah, and then there's another $100 for the blade, depending on the size.
And there's another $100 depending on the blade for the size. Everybody goes to Vader's Vault as their go-to cream of the crop. I cannot stand Vader's Vault.
Okay.
So that's another thing. It's kind of hard with COVID right now, but when you have these big things like Comic-Con, MegaCon that are coming to your cities, a lot of people can see these sabers for themselves. You can see a Vader's Vault. You can see an Ultra Sabers for yourself in person. Nothing wrong with, once again, introductory sabers. I would say RGB would be your first. Don't go full NeoPixel. I mean, you're easily looking at $500. Once again, you got a steal.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. Super affordable. Can't believe you got that. Yeah. It can get really, really expensive. Once again, you said that you activate that thing daily.
Yeah, I fire it up daily.
You can't put it down.
I cannot.
It is... NeoPixel is 100% the way to go.
Yeah.
I think that if you're going to get into this hobby of lightsaber collecting, you got to go all in.
It lights up the room. It's so vibrant. It's
literally
beautiful.
lights up the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a Korbanth Star Killer saber myself. I love that one. I have Leia's saber from Rise of Skywalker. Love that one. Obviously, I have the Electrum Evo, which is also NeoPixel, and then I have some Black Series ones as well. My next purchase, hopefully, for NeoPixel is I'm looking at KR. KR Sabers is based in the UK, and they are about to do a Fulcrum Ahsoka saber run, and that is going to set me back some bones. I'm not going to put that out there on the public on the off chance that my wife hears this, because it's really expensive.
What version of the Ahsoka sabers?
Fulcrum, so Rebels.
Okay, Rebels. Okay,
or
beautiful.
Mandalorian.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the Phantom Menace Obi-Wan hilt or the Ahsoka Apprentice hilts because of the pommel. I don't like that medieval ball.
Yeah.
It looks like a mace.
It does. It's very mace-like.
It's very mace-like, and I don't dig it.
Okay.
There's something about it. It doesn't sit right with me. So that's why I gravitate to the other ones.
What is it? I'm sorry, being a novice in this scenario. So what is the almost like the samurai style?
So that's like a new style.
Okay, the Ahsoka.
So we've had curved lightsabers before.
Yeah.
Count Dooku has a curved lightsaber.
Yeah, yes, correct.
Darth Bane also has a curved lightsaber.
Correct.
That's specifically for people who advanced in dueling.
Okay.
And that was actually frowned upon by the Jedi.
Okay.
Because the lightsaber were keepers of the peace, right?
Yeah.
It was for defense. It was to get to make your opponent where they could be arrested, stand trial, whatever the case may be. It was never to kill. So when you have a lightsaber that has a curve, you know what that curve does? It gives you leverage.
Okay.
And what do you need that leverage for? For killing your opponent.
Gotcha.
So it was always something that was frowned upon. But yeah, Ahsoka saber, I don't know where that actually came from. I don't know where the idea of like, hey, we're going to literally make this look like the sleeve of the hilt of a katana.
Yeah.
But that is what it looks like.
100%.
Even it's thin. like a katana. I used to not like it. Now I'm obsessed with it. Like literally obsessed with it. We have a video on our YouTube where I did the Legacy Ahsoka Fulcrum sabers that you can get from Galaxy's Edge. Good for the money. They're good for display pieces, but we talked about it before. Let's talk about Legacy sabers now, and then we'll wrap up our saber talk.
Yeah.
Legacy sabers, you have one.
Yes, correct.
And which one is that again?
I have the Anakin, there's if you say it's a Rey one, you get in a fight online. But yeah, it's the Anakin saber.
Revenge of the Sith.
Correct.
Yes. What would you say are some of the pros and cons about that saber?
Well, I love the weight. It
Yes.
feels fantastic. It's not very ergonomic though. It's a tough saber to hold. You know, you wonder how Anakin was able to dominate this saber so well because it's just not a very comfortable saber to hold.
It's funny that you. So I'll tell you how I hold it.
Well, if you're holding it by like the bottom of the grip, it's fine. But like I feel like I need to hold it a little higher.
I like because this is a similar setup to Graflex,
Correct.
right? So I like to go right below the bunny ear.
Okay.
And the way that power box is set up, that's what that thing
Yeah.
that protrudes is, like you said, you're keeping that in between your grip. You know,
Yeah,
the closer
okay.
your hands together, you're losing leverage. The farther they away, you're getting more. This saber, and this is where this Electrum saber, I was talking about accidentally hitting these buttons, because when you have the thin neck sabers like the Luke sabers, that's where you're getting that senseless spin action.
Yeah.
Because your hands closer together and you're able to spin your wrist like that. Justin, you can't do a senseless spin. Just remember that. You suck at it. Anyway.
At least not for a long time.
Travis with the banger. Yeah, you definitely can't do it right now, you dodo. I just need a God dang, I love that. Oh man, I'm clipping that for sure. Dang. You got me good. What were we saying? Oh, you can't hold it.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
that's a con. Okay. Pros.
Pros, it also feels very firm though in the grip too. So like it has a bit of girth to it. So it's actually got a nice feel to it. The rubber grip at the bottom, it's just a comfortable. I mean, it's just classic. You feel like you're holding some history in your hand.
I love you. You want to know why?
Why?
Because I'm no longer the only one who says girth. Look, I said girth one time, never lived it down. Welcome to the club.
All right, with the girthy boys.
We're the girthy boys. I don't know what to tell you. Cons, our pros, I would also say is price.
Yeah.
The Legacy Sabers are extremely affordable.
Yeah, 100%.
They come with a cool case.
Oh yeah, definitely. I doctored mine up a little bit. I wanted to go complete weathered, but I did a little bit of weathering. I spray painted it black, then I finished it off with a chrome silver, and it ended up kind of coming out with a neat look to it. It ended up kind of I kept some of the darkness around the areas that I wanted to have a little bit of weathering, and the chrome actually ended up kind of having more of a metallic, almost like Beskar look to it. So it ended up looking pretty cool. I was a little still disappointed, but it was a great trial and error piece that I worked on. So it comes in a really neat case that I still want to kind of play with though, because after taking it apart, you're like, oh, it's just styrofoam and a piece of cloth, you know.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot to it, and I enjoy.
I
enjoy the case.
It's nice high-end plastic. It's like ABS plastic.
100%. Yeah.
A lot of people will buy those Legacy Sabers and then sell the cases on eBay.
Okay.
And people buy them plentiful. The brightness is definitely a con.
100%.
The spacing between the LEDs, now it will move up the blade, which is nice. You're getting some of that action there. If a NeoPixel has 100 strains, these Legacy Sabers only have 20.
Yeah.
And you kind of get that chunking motion. And it's not fluid.
The audio too. It's a very dull, low hum. It doesn't.
It is.
It's not as very. I mean, I'm just spoiled. You know, my first lightsaber ended up being fantastic. The sound is very. It's very loud. If you will, and then just the.
And I'm wondering too, like, you know, when you get into the technical, I can't speak too much on the technical aspect of it, but you have a board can only handle so much amperage.
Yeah.
So many volts. And when you're dealing with a high-end saber like that has an 18650 in it, which is a large battery.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have a Legacy Saber that I believe they take 3 AAAs.
3 AAAs.
There has to be some power difference there.
Oh,
not only based on the battery, but also based on what the board can handle.
Correct.
And the millimeter of speaker is probably that might be like, once again, I'm probably speaking out of turn, I'm not correct, like a 6 or 8 millimeter speaker. And then you might only be dealing with a 4 millimeter speaker that can only put out so many decibels on the Legacy ones.
Yeah.
But we're still talking a $150 minimum dollar price difference.
Oh yeah.
So if your budget is $200 or below,
That's definitely the way to go.
That's definitely the way to go. Even Black Series, same thing. That's definitely the way to go.
Yeah.
Even the Black Series now, they have the Ahsoka one, the Rebels version, which I have that coming. So we're going to be doing an unboxing of that. And it's going to be like a, once again, make or break, like, do you buy it, do you not buy it type of thing. That changes colors.
Really?
Yes. So it'll do green or it'll do blue.
Okay.
Because in Clone Wars, she has
a green and a blue one.
Green and yellow.
A green, okay,
and then when Anakin redoes her hilts, see, you haven't gotten through.
I haven't gotten that far yet. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's everywhere. I know you've seen the pictures.
Yeah.
She ends up having both of her sabers, and they're both blue.
Yeah.
So there's new Kybers in there, so it can switch through either, and it's based on Clone Wars Season 7 Ahsoka hilts.
Okay.
Any legacy sabers that Disney does not carry that you want to see, like you want that lightsaber to be on display. I haven't thought about this too much. They just released Kyle Kestis. His is coming. It's available in the parks. It's available in Orlando. Mm-hmm. That's the newest one. That's Jedi Fallen Order. I
want a Caleb Doom.
Yes.
That's what I want.
That was so they actually, did you see on our Instagram by chance when they had a voting process?
Yeah.
So Disney put out a poll and said, "Hey, who do you want to see?" Ezra would be mine. Yeah. Ezra Jedi Knight. Speaking of, let's go to your toy cam. You actually have wrong toy cam. There you go. You actually have, that is a 3D printed.
This is a 3D printed. I wanted to test out some of the 3D printers that are available and some of the artists that are putting their stuff out on Etsy. And so this guy's name is Chris West. He's out in Etsy. He's very affordable, just mock burritos hilts.
Yep.
And this thing is fantastic. I mean, as far as the money, I mean, this was I think it was like $30. Something like that, and it feels nice. It feels great. It's beautifully made. You're right. It is. It has a very raw feel to it, though. You can see a lot of the lines in it. But I mean, as far as an animated, hilt, I think it's great. It's a nice little display piece, and I'll keep it. I mean, I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm not going to sell it.
Did he happen to tell you what the scale of that was?
No, I don't know. I mean, it almost feels like a 1-to-1 though. I mean, it's.
I was, because I was looking at it, I'm like, man, it looks small, but then Ezra's literally a kid.
He's a kid when he has this.
Yeah,
one.
literally
so, like,
a
and
kid.
then he graduates to the full saber. But I mean, it feels nice in the hand. You're right though, because the emitter would be a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
In this, but I mean, I don't know.
One thing that I like. If you guys are looking at the put it right there. If you guys are looking at this on the video, see that right here, Travis. See this red button, this thing?
Yeah.
He also has that same, whatever that switch does. I don't know what it does. That's the same switch. And I think that's the actual activator of the saber. Mm-hmm. That's the same activator on his Jedi Knight saber, his green one.
I saw someone actually on one of the Facebook posts. There's an Ezra lightsaber out there now.
Oh yeah,
and it looks fantastic. And yeah, I noticed that, and I was like, I think that's an Ezra one.
I think Ultra Sabers makes it.
Okay, yeah, maybe it
or
is.
It's Saber Forge or Ultra Sabers. One of them makes their version of that. And it goes by some name.
Yeah.
You can't just search. They change their names.
I think it has to do with copyright with Disney. So no one gets. Yeah, they're all nicknamed, unique names.
Yeah, it has to.
I try to search them and it's you have to know the name. This one's great. It's got like the little blaster trigger too, so it has a lot of neat stuff to it. I mean, I was really pleased with this. It also comes with a nice little display that has the name Ezra Bridger on there, and I have it in my. I love keeping this one. It's a great piece.
I'm trying to think like who I would like to see that isn't on there. And I mean, they pretty much have. I would love to see Qui-Gon Jinn.
Oh yeah,
I would buy that in a heartbeat. There's still some sabers that they have that I want to buy for shelf princesses, for lack of a better word.
Yeah,
that's what I'd like to buy them for, not because I want to duel with them or that's a whole nother thing. Dueling with NeoPixels is something that I wouldn't do personally, even though that they have duelable NeoPixels.
You can damage the LEDs.
Just anything. I mean, when you're putting that much money into a board and you're smacking it around, I mean, it's great for pictures and stuff. I personally wouldn't duel with them.
If I was sponsored by one of these companies, I would tee off on them. But the fact that I'm dropping serious coin on these things.
Literally at Top Golf. Just
God, that'll impress people.
Let's get into memorabilia.
Yes.
And let's talk about this amazing child that you have next to you. I'm going to put him in front of the good camera.
He's got some weight to him here.
I want the camera to only focus on him,
Yeah,
and I
I know,
think it
right?
is. He looks so good. All right.
As we move back and forth, it all the
Yeah. Travis, tell me about this magnificent beast you have brought into the studio.
Man, so this is one of my new favorite pieces. It is definitely a secret piece that I didn't tell my wife about till it showed up. And she was like, "Oh, it's cute. I like it." And I was like, "All right,
Yeah, there we go. We did it.
yeah, we did it. Yes, I got her on board."
Yeah.
So this is a Sideshow collectible piece, not a hot toy. There's a big difference as far as posability. This is a solid static statue, if you will. It doesn't move, but it is very, very detailed, even down to the garb that he wears. It's very well made. You can even like lift up his little skirt thing, and he's got a little I wouldn't say Yoda feet, his Grogu feet.
He's got feet under there.
Yeah, he's got feet under there and everything. You can unzip him and you can make him in the buff.
He does have little feet.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. He's even got a little fuzz on his head. Everything
my
about it, the
gosh.
details of this thing are fantastic. It always weirds me out because I do have a Siberian Husky, and I'm always like, oh, there's a dagnabbit dog hair all over it. But no, it's actually a little fuzz on the head.
Tell me you saw the pictures of the guy's dog that got a hold of his baby Yoda.
No, I haven't seen that.
That circulated for a while.
The ears would be the first thing to go, I'm sure.
Dude, the dog destroyed the whole thing.
no.
Be careful.
Oh, well, luckily my dog says she's sweet, and
She's
she
good?
wouldn't do
Okay,
anything like
okay.
that. She's more inclined to go get the carob chips or the chocolate chips on the countertop, or
Yeah,
try to
okay,
get something
okay.
really naughty.
Yeah.
She doesn't mess with any of my toys or anything like that. She's actually never, knock on wood, never chewed up anything of value in that aspect. But yeah, it's a fantastic piece. I love this thing. I love the detail that came with it. It's got little rosy pink cheeks.
Yeah, his little hands too.
It even has the shifter knob, which I wish was to scale to the actual piece, but so it's slightly smaller than the actual scale of the actual one, which, funny enough, I found someone who can actually make these for gear shifters for your car, shifter knobs. And it's magnetic, pops right back in his hand, so he always wants to hold on to this guy.
I knew that somebody would make that for a gear shifter at some point. And is it milled?
Yeah, it's milled.
It's actually
aluminum.
okay. Yeah, it
It's
would
got
have to
weight
be.
to it. Yeah. It's fantastic. But yeah, man, I've been absolutely thrilled to bits with this thing. It's definitely worth the money if you're a collector like I am. It's a must-have if you want. It's a 1-to-1 scale, so you're actually getting a life-size Grogu. They are still available, but man,
This is the one that I have.
Yeah. We all got a dream for something.
Yeah, we do.
But yeah, I love that. I'm working on trying to get a display piece. I made my own Beskar Mandalorian helmet, and
Dude, I gotta post that in the Facebook group. So I sent you, and this was through Star Wars costuming group.
correct,
How much was it again?
$50.
I thought it was cheaper than that. Is it $50 though?
I think it was $50.
So maybe it was $30 plus shipping.
Yeah, all right, that would make sense because it
Okay.
came from China.
Okay, and so on Amazon, I sent you this link to this Mando helmet that people were like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" I know you may think it's a scam. It's not. It was perfect.
Yeah,
And you got it,
I did.
and
It's fantastic. It's molded PVC, so this thing is heavy. It's got some weight to it. They preached on the ad that it was uncrushable, like
Yeah.
you could stand on it and stuff. You definitely can.
wow.
The only downside, it's not quite cut right with the visor, but that's something I can kind of play with later on. But this was
Even a
first
heat gun might.
Exactly. Yeah. I could kind of play with it. I have I do have a soldering knife, and so I could probably precision cut out the pieces and stuff, and then re-put in a visor. But man, I'm thrilled with it. It came out really good. I did. I couldn't tell you how many coats of chrome I put on this thing over the past like 2 weeks. It takes
Yeah, you
forever
were
for
sending
chrome
us
to
pictures.
paint.
Yeah.
To dry, but it came out great. I love it. It's right up next to my my prototype boba. I have another boba helmet that a fan made me. My buddy made me, Eric
Yeah.
Pabone. If you don't follow Eric Pabone online, definitely check him out. He does amazing fan art. Yeah, I got my own bounty hunter helmet collection now,
Dude,
almost like you have, you know.
Yeah. So this is the newest Boba Fett Black Series. This is my custom Mando. That costume is almost completely done. I wanted to have that done before the premiere of Mandalorian Season 2. It just didn't happen. Life got in the way, and I haven't focused on finishing it. But that's a quote, a foundling helmet, Beskar helmet. And then this was my Snow Mandalorian, which is like just the very first Mandalorian. Used to be part of the Mandalorian Mercs, and that was my costume. Real quick, if you don't mind, let's talk about the price point of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Off the top of my head, I want to say it's $375.
Okay.
And there is an extremely long wait time to get this. I think I ordered mine in October. I received it in late January.
Is this a limited run, or can you order one like right now?
I think you can still order them now. Knowing Sideshow, they do discontinue their items rather quickly. So I would say before the end of the summer, before the start of the summer, I would say this will probably be discontinued, and then that's when the value starts to climb on these things.
So this is Sideshow. Sideshow is U.S. based.
Correct.
Sideshow got their licensing from Lucasfilm in 2004. They have produced around 150 1/6 scale figures, and they also have 1-to-1, which this is a 1-to-1. They do less 1-to-1. They're more famous for their 1/6 scale.
That's what I have a Darth Deluxe, Darth Vader.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. It's Empire Strikes Back. He's standing on the, right when he knocks off Luke. Down
Does
the
his
console.
base light up?
It does light up.
Yeah. Okay, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
That one, yeah.
See, that would be a great thing to get into. I mean, Rex and Around podcast, they've had collectors on there that do hot toy stuff and make their own custom hot toys, or Sideshow type figures. Hot Toys is China based, but they also do Star Wars stuff. Same thing. They recently acquired their license in 2014, so they're kind of newer to the scene, but they're making around the same thing. And I think that
they're also sold through Sideshow Collectables. So Hot
Is
Toys,
that what
if
it
you,
is?
If you go through Sideshow, you have an option to buy this version, the static version, if you will, the one that doesn't pose.
Yeah.
Or the Hot Toy is it's posable.
Is it more expensive?
Yes.
How
It's
much
about
more expensive?
$50 to $100 more. I think
I'll have to go look, because I wanted this one when I saw it, and
I missed the email. They actually gave me an option to upgrade to the other one, but I didn't see it in time.
I'll have to go look, because this might be something that I PayPal credit.
Yeah.
I mean, I could pay for it outright, but I think I need this one.
Klarna also does like these 4 breaks it up in 4 payments kind of scenario. I think
Yeah.
you can also do it through Klarna, but they also charge you an outrageous interest fee when you
Yeah,
when you go really high. But yeah, PayPal would be the way.
PayPal credit, 6 months, no interest. I'm super impressed with this. Due to time, I'm just gonna end up saving this for the unboxing video instead of unboxing it now. But Kill Key Factory was nice enough to lend us. This is his Boba Fett. This is Sideshow once again. So this is also the U.S. based company. This is not the Hong Kong one. This is like the Mythos version of Boba Fett. So he has like this cool like sash thing going on. I can't remember. I can't remember if this thing is opposable or not. Once again, I haven't opened it.
Sideshows are posable.
Okay.
Sideshows do have like my Vader is a posable.
Oh, so some of them can be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Like they have joints in the elbows, and you can swap out the hands and stuff like that.
The front and the back are almost identical, but the head is in a different position. So this one probably is opposable.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, look out for our unboxing video for this, because I got to unbox this and then I got to get it back to Niles, because it is not mine as much as I actually. Niles, thank you for the no, just kidding. Yeah, like I said, I wanted to do this on this episode, but we're running short on time. But as far as memorabilia, I actually do have a there's a couple of things that I've always wanted. His name is completely drawing a blank now because I'm talking about it. The kid actor for Anakin.
Okay.
I'm gonna look it up.
I can't help you here.
I know. Lloyd. Is it
Christmas?
Lloyd? Yeah, Lloyd Christmas. Yeah, Jake Lloyd.
Jake Lloyd. Okay.
Jake Lloyd. Okay. I have a signed picture from Jake Lloyd from Star Wars Weekends at Hollywood Studios.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I got that from my mother-in-law, actually. It was a really nice present. I also got a Carrie Fisher headshot from Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
It's not signed. Dude, if that was signed.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I have a really cool Carrie Fisher. It says "May the Force be with you." It was released. I went to the celebration in Orlando, and it was a super limited.
Which one?
edition.
I went to all of them.
Okay, it was the last one that was there.
Yes, right before Last Jedi came out.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes, and so it was right after she passed away. So they did a beautiful
yes.
super limited edition poster. I managed to score one of those. It's one of my prized possessions.
Dude,
I have
that's
it framed on the
awesome.
wall.
How do you feel about that celebration? Now that Last Jedi has come and gone, like, for me, like, that was that celebration was way more hype than the celebration in Orlando before, because we didn't even know that there was going to be new Star Wars when there was the celebration before. Going to that celebration knowing that the high that we were left on with Force Awakens, and then going into Last Jedi. Look, Last Jedi is what it is. Like, I will watch the movie. The sequel story is not my favorite, but that high that I was at that con.
It's fantastic.
It's like nothing I've ever felt.
I wasted 4 hours though in the merchandise line. It took me forever to go.
Dude,
I was like, I got to get something. I got to get something.
Yeah,
and
you
so
have
I went
to.
and I waited the entire day. If you're gonna go wait in the merchandise line, you have to get a multi-day pass. I had a 1-day pass, so I burned so much
dude,
of
we
my
were
time
there
in
all 4 days.
Yeah,
we were there all and you know what? It was so crazy too because people were camping outside to get in line to get tickets to all the events that were inside, and I understand giving tickets to be inside the event to see the actors in person, but I wish they would have put that stuff on the big screen.
Yeah.
Because I missed a lot of the action that was going on. Because
100%.
Pretty much in one day you can see all the stands and all the merch.
It was like a music fest, you know. Like you couldn't do it all in one day. You couldn't do it all. Like,
you
so
couldn't.
like I wish they would have done like large projection displays, and you could tune in from the convention floor.
Dude, give me a room where I can sit and watch a panel going on, and because there was a lot of panels where you could only watch it digitally. So you could be at the con, pull up the con live feed on your phone and watch the panel, but they didn't have a viewing room.
Yeah,
and that sucked. That sucked. I hope they change things like that.
There's got to be things to change, in the future.
Yeah. I think it is a great time to go into news. This is actually a crazy week for news, and the first bit of news that we're going to go into is the rumor of Mena Massound being Ezra. First thoughts, go ahead.
I love it. I think he looks fantastic as possibly the part. I mean, he fits the age, especially if you're to grow a little bit of a beard too.
They gotta make him look a little older.
Yeah, 100%.
I think so.
Yeah, because he's a very young looking actor. As far as I mean, he played Aladdin, so like he played like a 18-year-old Aladdin. So yeah, I think if he were to age him up a little bit, I think he could play an amazing Ezra. I mean, I love that he's a new face and they're not throwing some well-rounded, actor we've seen in 100 different movies, because sometimes that can really kind of, distort, your thoughts of the whole character.
Have you seen all the talk about the Raoul guy being Ezra?
No.
Okay, I'll show you that later. We can get it.
Yeah.
Say he was he's an actor that's known for he's in these zombie movies. His last name's escaping me, but Raoul had put like a bunch of, he was trolling in a good sense of like he wanted to be Ezra. And the dude looked like Ezra. Okay. He looks more like Ezra than Mena, in my opinion. I think that he'll do a perfectly good job. Did you see the new Aladdin movie?
Yes, I did. Yes, it was a while ago.
It seems like it's super memorable for you.
Yeah. Well, a lot of those live action ones, I really didn't. I kind of toned out. I mean, I was a huge fan of like the animated, Aladdin.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And all the original Disney animated movies. I mean, The Lion King, the live action was definitely forgettable. I mean, even though it was Jon Favreau, but I mean, at the same time, it's a forgettable movie for me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of all the remakes in general.
No, I like the Jungle Book though. That was very well done.
I think Jungle Book and Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. If you haven't seen the Beauty and the Beast remake,
we did. My wife,
dude,
my wife wanted to watch that, so we watched that.
That one's good.
Yeah.
My point in all this is, I think that he knows his way around acting. I just hope that he can embody the sense of Ezra. As you've now finished Rebels, Ezra has an edge.
Oh yeah.
And that edge is constantly a battle back and forth between light and dark. With dark prevailing until light has to. Yeah. He goes through a whole season where he's literally tapping into the dark side
taps into his anger quite a bit.
To produce more power.
Yeah.
Ultimately to just do the right thing.
Yeah.
And kind of like what you touched on earlier, and I was going to ask you, him being Aladdin, does that ruin the idea of him being Ezra for you?
No, because as I said, I don't picture him immediately. I'm like, oh, that guy's Aladdin, So I definitely think he could migrate into the role and be Ezra. And then I'm like, oh yeah, he also played Aladdin, not Aladdin. Oh, he's also playing Ezra, so to speak. I don't know if that sounds weird, but
that could be a fandom thing too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in your head, you prefer the fandom, as opposed to Aladdin.
100%.
It's a good thing.
That's definitely what it is.
Drink your beer. Don't let me keep you. The next bit of news, I'm super excited. That's gonna obviously take place most likely in the Ahsoka movie or Ahsoka TV show that's coming out. With Ezra, we've talked about this numerous times on the show. We will get Thrawn.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the rumor of who's going to be Thrawn. That's going to come out sooner or later. Well, they got the rumor of the voice actor that plays Thrawn being Thrawn.
Yes,
which
I love.
Yes, people have already made him look blue, and the voice has to be perfect.
Yes.
Now, you've done the Thrawn trilogy too?
I'm on Treason, so book 3.
Yes.
I'm cruising through these. I cannot wait to get us to Ascension.
Do you love how Mark Thompson narrates Thrawn compared to the Thrawn that we have in Rebels? It's very, very similar.
It's very similar.
Very similar.
And I love it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even this guy's amazing voiceover actor.
I'm looking up his name because, of course, I'm blanking. It's one of those things where you have to know it, and because you're okay. Lars Mikkelsen.
Yes.
I have to think that he got inspiration from, and I just forgot the other guy's name. Mark Thompson. Mm-hmm. He had to have gotten inspiration from him. Had to. Like, Mark Thompson has been Thrawn, and Timothy Zahn has been writing Thrawn for decades.
For since 1995 or something.
Yeah.
Something crazy. I look back and I was like, oh, there's books way dating back to the original, the ones that I'm reading. There's several books.
I think Thrawn, and this is a whole nother episode, Thrawn has been the greatest transition from legacy to canon that we've seen. And I think that they have the ability to do it, and hopefully the future of Lucasfilm and Star Wars is extremely bright, and we get more of this, where we have these stories that we love and people are carried over and they're done well. I think Thrawn has been the best one so far. Yeah. By far. Love the character Thrawn. He's 10 out of 10 for me.
Oh, yeah. No, he's definitely grown to be one of my favorite, I guess, anti-hero, really. Because, I mean, I root for him when I'm listening to these books. I'm a dodo, so I'm listening to them just because I'm driving a lot.
It's the best way. We've talked about it's the best way to enjoy
the
Star Wars
sound effects,
yes.
the soundtrack. I mean, it's
the
John
acting.
Williams Orchestra is putting the soundtrack to this thing. So you feel like you're watching a movie. I mean, they paint these vivid pictures of like these interstellar fights, everything going on. Whether you're visioning the Chimera, you're like, I know, I can see it.
Yeah, exactly, dude. It's it makes me want to start the Thrawn series all over again. The next bit of news announced for the release date. This is super exciting for me and Justin in this podcast because right now we are, in our opinion, we're in a little bit of the drought. We're not enjoying High Republic as much as other people. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people aren't diving into High Republic because it's written media. And that's just a level of fandom that 6 out of 10 don't go to.
Yeah. I've been reading the graphic novel, actually.
Yeah, so you talked about that in our Facebook group today. The third one just got released.
Correct.
And did you finish it?
No, I actually haven't downloaded that one. I use Comixology for this.
Okay.
So I just for convenience on my phone. So I read comics as I'm going to sleep, just to kind of make my eyes a little heavy.
Yoda is supposed to appear in number 3.
He appears in number 2.
Oh, okay, so he's already appeared.
He's appeared in number 2.
Give us a brief spoiler warning, of course.
Yeah.
How's Yoda been so far?
Well, it's very brief. You just see him at the. They have I think. I'm drawing a blank what it's called.
He's a master at this point already.
He's a master at this point.
Yeah.
He's they have this a star station in the Outer Rim that they've developed, and they're celebrating a certain character becoming a Jedi Knight.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And that's the only blip that you've seen, and it's just like a ceremony kind of scenario. And you see him, and he has a saber and everything like that. He's still walking with a cane though, so it's hundreds of years before.
100 years before the events of Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
So he's still like 750.
Yeah. He's still up there. Yeah. So he's still walking with a cane. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Which we saw in Attack of Clones. He just like
exactly.
Yeet.
Kicks it. Yeah.
He just throws the cane. He doesn't even need it. Bad Batch.
So excited.
I am super excited. May the 4th. It is getting released. That is on a Tuesday. I take off every May the 4th.
Okay.
And I take off. Actually, I didn't get to last year, but this year I am. I already put in for it. I watch my Star Wars movies. I try to make food that would be representative of Star Wars. It's my day.
Yeah.
I love May the 4th. A lot of people think like May the 4th. Oh, that's kitschy. Like it sounds. Dude, we got May the 4th, and then the next day we have Revenge of the 5th, which is also Cinco de Mayo. Mm. May the 4th is super special, and I love this because we're going to have another WandaVision situation where Tuesday is the first episode, and then that Friday we have the second episode.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So the very first week, we're getting 2 episodes. So I'm super excited about this.
I was so late to seeing this trailer that I texted you guys. I was like, have you guys seen this? And you're like, yeah, it came out like a month ago. I'm like, God, get out of here.
Travis, get with the program. Yeah. The trailer's hype.
It is so good.
It's so really good.
I mean, it's Clone Season 8, but it's fantastic, and I cannot wait.
That's something that's cool. Me and Justin, we had an episode where we talked about the Disney Investor Day, and that was one of the trailers that we watched together while we were recording the episode. And one thing that it does is at the end of the trailer, it says Star Wars: The Clone Wars, but then it burns away and it says Bad Batch, right? And it's so cool because one thing that I actually learned today, did you ever play Star Wars Republic Commandos?
Yes, yeah, the old and I think I played on NES, N64 maybe, or PlayStation.
No, it would have been Xbox. Star Wars Republic Commando. You're the
you're
the task force.
Yeah, the task force.
Yeah. So the Republic
They're
Commandos.
re-releasing that on Switch actually.
Switch and PlayStation.
Okay.
And
Please
I was
next gen graphics because it's
dude. They really need to start remaking some stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
If all these movies can get remade, start remaking video games.
Yeah, you throw it through the whatever they call I forgot. I'm draw blank. But anyway, yeah, they definitely need to remake this.
There's no way it can't. The basis is already there.
Yeah.
I'm not a programmer. I'm not a dev, but I can't imagine it's that complicated.
Yeah, the ground.
We will pay for it.
Yeah, I'll go fund it. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Kickstart that.
I found out due to Chatter Squadron, another Star Wars podcast, that Republic Commandos were not bred with inhibitor chips.
Okay.
You haven't finished Clone Wars.
But I have cheated, and seen the end of Clone Wars.
Okay, so you
After
understand.
You told me, I ended up jumping. I watched the last few episodes of Clone Wars ahead of time, so I kind of know what's going on. Yeah.
So you saw Rex get his removed by Ahsoka.
Correct.
Okay, it's cool because that's always a question that I've had. It's like, what happens to Bad Batch during Order 66? What happens to Delta Squadron?
They touch base to that in Rebels too when they come across the Clone Wars and they're like, "Look, I got mine removed," and they had the scars on their heads.
Exactly. So I'm wondering. And once again, Wolf and Cody and I'm blanking on the other one's name, but Rex, all those guys, they were clones. Commandos were different. Mm-hmm. So the Commandos, like Delta Squadron, Commandos would also be Bad Batch 99.
Okay.
They supposedly didn't have inhibitor chips. Okay. And there's actually a scene where Palpatine is giving his famous speech to the galactic thing about talking about the Empire, and they're kind of like walking through the crowd of all the clones, and they're like looking around like, what the heck's going on? Like, because they wouldn't have gotten Order 66. Only the commanders got 66 and then trickled down, it went to everybody. I'm super excited about this. Fennec Shan is making a reappearance from Mandalorian. Nam Wen, the actress, we're getting a younger version of her animated. She's also voicing the character.
Okay.
And I'm super excited because we hear cool things about her in Mando. Actually, the episode that you were on, we talked about the season 2 recap. She was like a complete badass.
Oh, to say the least.
Yeah, Mando tells Toro that he can't go after her. Like, she'll literally kill you, dude. Like, she's an immense warrior. So I'm super excited about that. And I've told you, I think the animated stuff is Star Wars' best stuff.
I love it.
It's really good.
I didn't dive into it to the time that you actually. I mean, the last time I was on the show, you're like, you need to check out Rebels. You need to hit these highlight episodes on Clone Wars.
Yeah,
I dove right into it. I fell in love with it. I mean, I fell in love with it enough to buy Ezra's Hilt.
Yeah,
I love it. Actually, it's some of my favorite. I was telling my wife, I was like, I absolutely love this series.
The adult. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No. It's definitely it's got a lot of adult tones. Yet it is very geared towards I would say a younger generation. But I mean I loved it. I mean it spoke to me on so many different levels.
I'm super excited about this. I have no doubts that we're going to continue to get answers to questions that we have. We still have gaps between what was going on between events in all the movies. The movies can only follow so many characters at once. I'm super excited about that. Once again, May the 4th is episode 1, and then that is May the 4th, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then May the 7th comes out the next episode.
Yeah.
Or May the 6th. Sorry, May the 6th on that Friday. The next episode comes out. Super excited about that. We will definitely be covering that. Also, that is the same time that Falcon and Winter Soldier will also be out.
Okay.
Super excited about that as well.
A lot of stuff on Disney Plus.
Dude, we're both burp crazy.
Yeah.
Niles is just...
Count them up, buddy.
Count them up. So much stuff on Disney Plus. How are you feeling about Netflix? Before we get into the last piece of the news, I'm super down on Netflix right now.
Well, I just finished. I was watching Netflix every day, watching that Last Kingdom that we spoke about.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed that, which was the Saxon Danes kind of drama throughout the the 10th century.
Yeah.
And I loved that. But
I love that style stuff too.
Yeah. So it was like Braveheart, but 10 times better. I mean, that series is fantastic. I mean, even just for it's the sheer violence and brutality of the show. It's amazing. I really enjoyed that. But I mean, I'm struggling to find something right now on Netflix, and so like I'm finding myself jumping more towards Disney Plus, and then I'm also. I love it or hate it, but I mean I'm also on HBO Max. There's so much content on HBO Max, whether it be the DC series that are out there, or whether it be
Amazon's got some good stuff right now too.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys have Amazon Prime?
I have. Sadly enough, I have every streaming service minus Stars. I think.
Dang, all of them. Do you share that with anybody?
I mean, I can.
No, I'm saying like
I pay for it, and yes, I do share it with family members and stuff like that.
No, I'm saying
I have a lot of leechers in my family.
You got it. See, this is what you got to do, man. You got to be like, look, Grandma, pay for Amazon, and I'll pay for this.
Yeah,
you got to get the bartering going, man.
I mean,
I'll help you. We'll write some
letters. Yeah, we need some guidelines.
We'll get
here.
some.
Old Butler here is being taken advantage of, and we're gonna set the rules. We're gonna set it straight.
What is it when somebody certified letters? We'll get some certified letters. We need some signatures.
I got a lawyer, buddy. We'll throw out some threats.
Yeah, little. We're like a HOA over
Listen here, Grandma.
Yeah. Lastly, Gina Carano. We talked about this on our last episode. Gina Carano has arguably become more famous than she already was.
Yeah.
With everything that's going on. And Bill Burr has spoken up as one of her co-actors, co-workers, saying that she was basically an amazing person, putting himself out there.
Yeah.
Which I think that's kind of... Bill Burr never really cared for Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I don't think he cares, period.
Yeah.
He's also an extremely accomplished comedian.
Yeah.
Which... that's a whole nother thing. In my opinion, comedy's dead. It's been dead for a while.
Okay. With
the snowflakes that live in this world, I literally don't think people can take jokes anymore.
Yeah.
It's like Steve Carell talking about doing a reunion for The Office, and he literally says, no, the climate can't handle it.
Yeah, no, they really couldn't.
And The Office is got to be one of the most mildest shows ever.
Oh man,
to kind of touch subjects like that.
Jim's a bully.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, I don't.
But yeah, it's a tough one, man. I read about what Bill Burr said, and it's he kept up with her, and I don't know. It's such a sensitive subject. It's even hard to even talk about on the show. It's a tough one because I mean it walks a fine line.
Justin said something that has stuck with me. And I've repeated this to so many people now. He said, it's not the problem that people have opinions. It's how loudly they talk about their opinions.
Yeah, well, that's very true.
And everybody has a platform now. Yeah. Everybody has social media. Mm-hmm. Everybody can retweet, like, comment, message, share, create whatever, tag, post. Everybody can do that stuff. And
well, before it used to just be the crazy guy on the corner of your street yelling nonsense, but now that person has a platform. Not saying that any of these people are crazy people, but it's just now everybody's, instead of like back in the day, the crazy guy on the corner of the street who's yelling nonsense. You never stood there and be like, hey, this guy's onto something. You know what I mean? You just walked by, you just kept on going. You know, now everybody stops and listens and stops and likes, hates, whatever. Yeah. And it's I don't know, man. It's a tough one. I mean, being for someone who works on a radio show, that definitely walks the fine line of whether it be insulting or just crazy. You know, I mean, our show is very uncensored, and there's no F's given kind of scenario.
And it sucks too, because I feel like even me and Justin are put in scenarios where you almost kind of have to pick your camp.
Oh yeah,
because you can't have opinions of both sides anymore. No, you're either one or the other. Yeah, and. It's just I mean, once again, that's just a whole nother discussion. The point of this was Bill Burr said that she was a great person to work with. He of course has said something that many people have said, which is cancel culture needs to be canceled. Just all that stuff aside, Bill Burr once again is a comedian. Yeah, he is funny, nasty, and deplorable by trade. Yeah, that's literally what he does. And it's just, to me, it's a little bit comical, and that's why I say comedy is now dead. to see how people react to Bill Burr in a sense of like, guys, there's no such thing as an appropriate joke. That's why it's called a joke.
Yeah.
Shout outs to the great Michael Scott, because that's literally his quote from The Office. And people are just, once again, we'll see if anything, I guess, happens to Bill Burr. I mean, I think his character's done for the Mando anyway.
Well, I think, yeah. I mean, it's almost one of those characters. It was it hit hard, and then it's not going to ride into the Republic or the Republic. What is
New
it?
Republic.
The New Republic. It's
Yeah.
not going to run into that.
Rangers of the New Republic.
Rangers of the New. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to run into that. So yeah, I think his run was dead. So I think those no holds bar. I don't think he had anything to worry about. He wasn't worried about getting canceled.
He has a successful podcast.
He's got a successful podcast. He's
Yeah.
got a successful. He will eventually tour again, and he will sell out the auditoriums.
Has he ever been on Joe Rogan's podcast?
I don't know. They almost have.
They have beef.
No, I wouldn't say beef, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they, just as far as their mindset and their, I wouldn't say political stances, but Joe's a little more. I guess I
would never. I would say. Well, see, that's the thing that I like about. I think that a lot of people, and this is something that I'll say, I really don't care. Star Wars Theory just took a stand when it came to the Gina stuff, and he just said, "Have you seen Star Wars Theory before?"
No.
Star Wars Theory is easily one of the largest Star Wars YouTube channels.
Okay.
I mean, millions and millions of subscribers.
That's fantastic.
And he said, I no longer care. And he took his stand on the Gina Carano subject, right?
Okay.
And it's funny to me when people react so hatefully to other people's political views, and they say like Gina needs to go, whatever the case, she's the worst because she said this, she said that. None of these people know what Dave Filoni's political opinions are. He
doesn't display them, kind of scenario.
True, but the point that I'm making is like people draw a line in the sand because Gina has said what she thinks, yet you don't know what John thinks.
Yeah,
you don't know what.
Well, thank God we didn't know what all these past heroes that we may have had, whether it be
because there was no
Frank
social
Sinatra
media
or somebody like that. I mean, imagine if you heard like what somebody was saying, some locker room talk that somebody else was saying. I mean, you might be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so rough, I mean, it's a tough time to live, and you gotta mind your P's and Q's in this scenario. Because,
you have to know your audience.
100%.
You have to know your audience.
Know your audience. That's 100%. I mean,
and if you've picked that audience, you cater to that audience.
Yes.
And that's a hard thing too. There's a Netflix documentary.
Now Gina has her audience now, though.
Oh, for sure.
And
she's going to skyrocket.
She's going to be successful no matter what she does moving forward. I mean, whether it be on some sort of political avenue or she does something else. I mean, somebody will pick her up. She's a rising star, and she'll be fine.
She'll end up being the voice.
She just won't be a Mandalorian. That's all.
Yeah, she just won't be a Mandalorian. I mean, that was at this point. That could have been a stepping stone in her career. Who knows? Or maybe she falls off the face of the earth. We have no idea.
Should be fine though either way financially.
Yeah. There is a Netflix documentary that you should watch. Speaking of things to watch on Netflix, and it's about social media, and it will open your eyes completely.
I know what
you're talking about.
The social experiment.
I think that everybody should watch that because it's educational.
I've somewhat tuned out of social media myself. Just kind of, I've had to backpedal a little bit because I got wrapped up in it. I was throwing out my opinions too much, and once I pushed back a little bit, honestly, I've been more mentally healthy, better. I can't even talk right now. This is that 1050.
And it's hard because even with what you do for a living and what we're trying to do, you have to be involved. You have to build a community. You have to build an audience.
You have to be engaged.
It's hard
and it's tough. Yeah, you gotta. And so I have backpedaled a bit. I'm not as engaged as I was. If I am engaged, it's definitely more of a targeted group, whether it be the shout out to the nerds, geeks, gamers, and
shout outs
group that we have, whether it be the BDM page that we have with Tom and Dan. Or the KonKon Cantina, group.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more finding my like-minded audience and keeping my political opinions out of it because honestly, they're like buttholes. No one, everybody has them and they all stink. You know what I mean, I don't want it. No one wants to hear your opinion on that stuff. And when it comes to like certain groups, so just keep it out and it's fine. I mean, honestly, I have a better chance of making good friends. And I don't really, I don't know. It's just so tough.
Yeah, and once again, it's Bill Burr speaks out. I don't think that's gonna have any levity. I think it's crazy to see people going after Bill Burr again. Once again, like he's literally a comedian. He would curse you out to your face. He does not care. That is literally his spiel. That is his speech. That's what he does.
Yeah,
it's
good
crazy.
stuff.
Travis, I had a good time.
Dude, this was a really good time. I love this place.
Thank you guys very much for joining us this week's at KonKon's Cantina. We will at some point be doing a part 3 to grown men still collecting toys. So guys, be sure to check us out on YouTube. Be sure to leave that review. And be sure to check out our merch on our big cartel. I was your boy, it's KonKon. And sitting across from me,
Butler. Travis Butler, buddy.
Instagram English T, the letter T, English T.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining us. We'll catch you later.